10,
9,
8,
7, 6,
5,
4, 3,
2.
1.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Jane.
I'm Georgie.
And this is Andrew. We are so excited for this week's episode of... Wait, do we still not have a name?
I don't think so. What?
Okay, I think we got a few submissions for name ideas.
We could always use more though.
Right.
Yeah.
Families at home, email us the name ideas for what this show will be, and then we're gonna vote on it, and then it will be called that forever.
Great idea, Georgie. Yeah, we need some name ideas, so send those on in. Until then, Jane, what are we doing today?
Yeah, today we have some more activities, some more stories, and of course, some more fun.
Oh, I love fun. Let's go! Woohoo! Yes. I would like to take this moment to wish a proper and extremely wonderful birthday to the following young children: Charlie, Kalista, Lola, Heidi, Isla, and Elson. I hope that the day is filled with so much fun, celebrating, and many, many wonderful things that you love to do with the people who love you. Now, we will celebrate in the appropriate and proper way. Are you ready? Happy birthday! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Happy birthday, 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 happy birthday.
Kids, parents, family, friends, I want to start by introducing Mr. Rabbit today because he had a bit of a fit because I didn't introduce him last week. So his name is Mr. Rabbit. Everybody say hi to Mr. Rabbit. There you go. You've had your 2 to 3 minutes of fame. Okay, so now sit down and calm down. Calm your nerves. Okay, thank you. Halt. 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 Well, what does halt mean? Well, halt means hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. You don't know what it means, Mr. Rabbit? Well, halt means hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So let's talk about those 4 things. So sometimes kids, sometimes parents, you might get a little hungry. That's the letter H. Well, when you're hungry, you need to check on yourself. Check on yourself. Are you hungry? Yep, you're hungry. I can hear your stomach growling right now. So if you're hungry, you need to decide what are your options for eating. And then after you've decided on what your options for eating are, you have to decide who's going to fix the food. Is there a quick little snack that you can grab yourself out of the refrigerator? Do you need to let mommy or daddy or the teacher know that you need a snack? Make sure you eat something healthy. For me, I like to have bananas and strawberries and berries, but I also like to eat pizza and hamburgers and French fries with mozzarella cheese are my favorite. Okay, angry. Angry? Mr. Rabbit, please don't get angry at me because you're so hungry. When you're angry, what should you do? Okay. What I do is I do a quick little breathing exercise and I count back from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I'm still angry. Okay, well, if I go and tell mommy or daddy that I'm angry, they're probably not going to be able to understand me because I have such a harsh tone. So I breathe in a few more deep breaths. I calm my energy down and I go and I tell mommy or daddy or grandma or grandpa or the teacher why I'm angry. What can I do about the anger? Kids, parents, sometimes we all get a little angry, but we have to control ourselves. And sometimes you might be angry about a situation that's out of your control completely, right? But the one thing you can control is yourself. So maybe you're not hungry, maybe you're not angry, but maybe you're lonely. Well, Mr. Rabbit, we don't have to worry about being lonely right now because we have each other, right? Parents, sometimes the kids might feel a little lonely, especially if they're staring at a screen all day long. So parents, sneak in, give the kids a hug, and kids, after the parents have had a long day at work, they deserve a hug too. So it's okay to ask your parents, can I be by you for a while? It's okay. Me and Mr. Rabbit are giving you guys the great big okay to go up to your parents. Parents, you gotta allow them in to give you a nice big hug. But what if you're not hungry or angry or lonely? What if you're just a little tired? Me, between 2:30 and 3:45, I usually take a quick 25 to 45 minute power nap. It allows me to refresh my energy, but I check on myself and I say, Kiana, you know what? It's about that time for your afternoon nap. So go ahead, get your favorite blanket, your favorite stuffed animal, and take that nice big nap that you so deserve. Again, parents, kids, halt. Check on yourselves, okay? Check to make sure you're not hungry. Check to make sure you're not angry. Check to make sure you're not lonely or even tired for that matter. But whatever you're going through, check on yourself. Make sure you're okay. Feed yourself. If you're angry, figure out how you can control the situation from your perspective. If you're lonely, give out big hugs and be open to receiving big hugs. And if you're tired, take that afternoon nap, because it all makes a great big difference to taking care of you. Thank you guys for watching. I have to go and feed Mr. Rabbit, okay? Because he's getting a little hangry, hungry and angry at the same time. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, it's Jane again, back to share the theme that we talked about in the last video. Once again, it is God's garden, where we know that a long time ago, someone wrote a story about how God created everything. And today we're going to specifically talk about the garden that God created. So I'm going to read you a little bit from Genesis, and so listen closely. Then God said, "Let the land produce plants. Let them produce their own seeds, and let there be trees on the land that grow fruit with seeds in it. Let each kind of plant or tree have its own kind of seeds." And that's exactly what happened. So the land produced plants. Each kind of plant had its own kind of seeds, and the land produced trees that grew fruit with seeds in it. Each kind of tree has its own kind of seeds. God saw that it was good. So just like that little verse said, God saw that it was good, and we know that when God saw everything that God had made, that it was very good. And that comes from Genesis 1:31. So again, one more time, God saw everything God had made, and it was very good. So last week, remember how we learned this verse in 2 different languages? In French was the first one, and then American Sign Language. So this week we have a new version that is in a different language, which maybe some of you have heard of. It is Italian. And so this time we have our friend Paola, who is going to say this verse for us in her first language, which is Italian.
E Dio vide tutto quello che aveva fatto ed era molto buono.
Thanks, Paola. So, in God's garden, not only did God think that everything was very good, but we also know that God cares very much about everything that is in his garden. So earlier in this video, we asked, what do you need? And God, he asked us that too, because God cares about us a lot. The rest of creation also has needs like us. So, we have to ask maybe the plants and the trees, what do you need? And then we can listen by not just using our ears, but also with our eyes and other senses. So for example, maybe you have a house plant at home and the plants can't really talk to you, or maybe you have a pet at home who also can't talk to you. And so you have to pay close attention to their needs. Maybe you'll have to water those plants when they look dry, or if there's a tree in your yard that looks like it's dying, maybe you have to give it some new soil. So we use our eyes instead of our ears to listen, and that is what God does for us too and for all of creation. So to conclude, we can all help care for God's garden by asking, what do you need to our nature and what surrounds us? And we can always say, thank you for all the ways God's garden gives us what we need too.
Hello, my name is Jen Turner, and I am Joseph Omar's mother. And today I'm going to be reading a story to you called Giving Thanks. And here it is. Giving Thanks, a Native American Good Morning Message. So we'll get started. To be a human being is an honor, and we offer thanksgiving for all the gifts of life. Mother Earth, we thank you for giving us everything we need. Thank you, deep blue waters around Mother Earth, for you are the force that takes thirst away from all living things. We give thanks to green grasses that feel so good against our bare feet, for the cool beauty you bring to Mother Earth's floor. Thank you, good foods from Mother Earth, our life sustainers, for making us happy when we are hungry. Fruits and berries, we thank you for your color and sweetness. We are all thankful to good medicine, herbs, for healing us when we are sick. Thank you, all the animals in the world, for keeping our precious forests clean. All the trees in the world, we are thankful for the shade and warmth you give us. Thank you, all the birds in the world, for singing your beautiful songs for all to enjoy. We give thanks to you, gentle four winds, for bringing clean air for us to breathe from the four directions. Thank you, Grandfather Thunder Beings, for bringing rains to help all living things grow. Elder Brother Sun, we send thanks for shining your light and warming Mother Earth. Thank you, Grandmother Moon, for growing full every month to light the darkness for children and sparkling waters. We give you thanks, twinkling stars, for making the night sky so beautiful and for sprinkling morning dewdrops on the plants. Spirit protectors of our past and present, we thank you for showing us ways to live in peace and harmony with one another. And most of all, thank you, Great Spirit, for giving us all these wonderful gifts, so we will be happy and healthy every day and every night. And that's it. The end.
Last time we talked about soil and water in God's garden, and today we're going to be talking about plants and trees. Think about your home right now. Maybe you've got a giant tree in your backyard that you love climbing. Maybe you've got a favorite flower in your flower bed. Some of you might even have gardens where you grow vegetables and different plants as well. Georgie and I, we're here at church, and we're just checking out all the plants and flowers and trees we have here on campus.
Wow, look at all these plants. Where do they all come from? Why are the trees so tall? Why are the leaves the color that they are? Why do the leaves change colors in the fall? Why do the leaves not taste so good when I put them in my mouth? Why are they crunchy? Why are they soft sometimes? Andrew, I have so many questions about the plants.
Georgie, you have so many really good questions. All right, so let's start with the basics. Plants, trees, they come from seeds. That's how they start.
Andrew, one time I was out on a walk and there were leaves on the ground, but there were also acorns on the ground too. And I was wondering, are those seeds?
Yeah, totally. Acorns are like the seeds for trees. But actually, if we're gonna be honest, there's a lot that goes into growing beyond just the seed. Georgie, did you know that every single person, plant, animal, they're made of these teeny tiny cells, kind of like building blocks. And these building blocks make up the whole creature, the whole plant. And inside these teeny tiny cells, there's something called DNA. And the DNA help decide what the cells are supposed to do. Let me think, how else to say this? Georgie, do you ever play with Legos?
Oh,
And do I ever. I love playing with Legos.
Nice.
I like building ships and rocket ships and like pirate ships.
A lot of ships.
And one time I built this whole castle like from Harry Potter. It was awesome.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. I love Harry Potter. Well, let me ask you, when you made this giant castle from Harry Potter, did you just come up with it off the top of your head using your imagination, or did you use instructions?
Well, Andrew, I do love using my imagination, but because it was so big, I used the instructions.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Like DNA is a lot like instructions because we as people, we're very big, we're very complex in how we're made. Same with animals and plants. DNA operates that way, right? So like DNA gives instructions on what kind of hair we should have. Is it straight, curly, wavy, black, or blonde? Same thing for our eye color. Even with the plants, the different color plants, is the DNA is going to tell if the plant should be red, or if the flower should be orange or purple. Is it going to smell sweet? Is it going to smell kind of stinky?
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I've heard some people call DNA kind of like a special code. Like some people out there, maybe you like coding for computers. Basically, it uses the same 4 letters, A, T, C, G, and they represent chemicals. You'll probably learn about this in science class in middle school. But just by mixing up the order, it changes the instructions, even if the letters are the same. Like, Georgie, let's look over here. I've got 4 letters. These are 4 different letters, all right? But what does this spell?
Trap.
Yeah, perfect. But I'm going to keep the same letters, and I'm just going to change the order. Now, what does this word spell?
Oh, part.
Part, exactly. And we use the same letters, but it totally changes the meaning depending on the order. And that's how DNA works. All DNA, it doesn't matter if you're a tree in the ground, if it's a squirrel running in your backyard, if it's one of us, right? God uses DNA to make up how that person or plant looks.
Wow. No wonder God has so much care for all of his creation.
That's right.
This is a really tall tree. How can a tree that big get food?
Great question, Georgie. Actually, inside this tree, there's a couple straw-like lines. One that goes from the top of the leaves all the way down, and one that goes from the roots all the way back up.
Those are way down in the ground where you can't see them, right?
Right, exactly. They go all the way from the ground to the very top of the tree in the leaves.
Andrew, do you think you can send water up like the tree does?
I don't know. Let's give it a shot. All right, Georgie, so this is gonna be like the straw-like line from the roots all the way to the top. And I'm gonna try to bring that water as high as I can. Here we go.
Yeah, go Andrew, go! You got it, Andrew!
Okay, that's really, really hard.
Hey kids, did you know that the tallest tree is about 38 stories tall? Wow! And did you know that the widest tree is as wide as 40 kids holding their hands in a circle? And did you know that the oldest one, is like 4,600 years old? Trees are awesome! Oh, wow, P.U. Bob, it stinks.
Yeah, actually, Georgie, if it's a good compost, it doesn't stink real bad.
Oh.
They can smell really good, actually, if it's done right.
Okay.
So, smell this one.
Oh yeah, that's not so bad.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of compost that does stink, and they aren't necessarily the ones you want to use, but if you're doing it at home, you might get some funny smells once in a while, and that's okay. Just turn it, get some air in there, and those smells will go away, and you'll be making really good compost.
So, Mr. Bob, can I compost anything? Like my old toys, old clothes, my sister's homework, stuff like that?
No, you can't put your old toys in, but your sister's homework could go in. You shred that paper and you just make sure she turns it in first.
Okay.
Yeah. This was actually manure from dairy cows.
Manure?
Yeah,
Cows?
yeah, cow poop.
Wow.
So, and it smells good. Its plants will love this stuff. And so you put a little bit in your garden or on your lawn, and what it does, it puts the good organisms in compost, and then they will help your plants grow.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you want to build a compost pile at home, Georgie, what you do is you just get some food scraps and maybe 5 inches of leaves.
Okay.
Inch of food scraps, 5 inches of leaves, and just keep repeating that. And moisten it at every level, and then let it go and turn it in like once a week or so. And these fungi strands, this is so cool. But what they do is they'll attach onto the root of a tree. And all the trees and plants put carbohydrates, these simple sugars, into the soil. And then the trees sweat that out into the soil. The fungi will eat it, and they know what the tree needs. So it's like they'll say, Mr. Pine Tree, you need some calcium. And it goes out through this little fungal network and gets calcium and gathers it with water and brings it back and feeds it to the tree.
Fungi's pretty fun, huh?
Yeah, and it's smart. It's like a smart root.
Smart fungi.
Yeah, and you can be an important part of that.
Really?
Yeah. Start your compost pile at home.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, Bob. Thank you so much.
You bet.
In the Bible, Jesus says God knows what we need before we even ask. Let's take a moment and think about all the different ways that God has provided for us. The things that we wear, the people around us, the food we eat, the beautiful trees and plants all around us. Let's practice gratitude and thank God for all the ways that God has provided.
Hi everyone, again, I hope that you all learned something new during this second video that we made. And before we end, I have the prayer for us that I would love for you to just pray before you end. So here we go. Mother Earth, thank you for making all that we need. Jesus, thank you for caring about what we need. Great Spirit, thank you for the plants and trees and even the bugs. Amen.